Good morning.
Good
Good morning,
morning.
Sally.
Good morning, Andrea. Good morning, everyone.
Hi, everybody. We are here again, and I'm so happy to be with you here, Sally. How are you? Where are you?
I'm very fine, thank you. I'm in my hometown in Cluj-Napoca in Romania, and you?
I'm in Marseille, in France. Yeah, it's funny. And I'm a bit tired, but I was okay. Maybe Sally will help me to wake up.
And did I?
Yeah, I hope you will.
That's great.
Yeah, last week we had a great talk about vulnerability, and I like that how we are talking, new and new topics are coming up. And as I remember, it seems centuries, but you have mentioned something about trust, and I grabbed the topic and I said that, okay, let's talk about trust next week. So, Sally, how is it for you, or what is it for you? It's interesting.
Well, I be honest with you and with everyone. This trust thing, it's still a journey for me as well. But as long as we are looking at trust as something like trust in yourself, for example, or trust in your awareness, or trust your guts, and you can create your own life the way you think and you want to create it. Because when you trust in your awareness, you are not creating your life from somebody else's points of view. You are creating your life from your own points of views, and no one else is living your life. So trust your guts, trust yourself that you can do it, and see what can show up.
Yeah, it's interesting that you are mentioning this because uh, in the last few weeks I have or we are talking a lot also about that with one of my friends because she chose to create something bigger in her life, and it's somehow an irrational choice for her, but everything is supporting her, but she's still many times going into this, oh, I'm not sure, am I doing it right, oh my god, what will happen, I'm crazy, la la la. But actually she always knows everything, and many times tuk 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 this fast, and then she creates something shit and she goes into this thinking, and we are talking about many times that wow, it's crazy because how many times we don't trust ourselves or our intuition or awareness, as you said. I think it's the same, maybe, but we still go into this, oh, we are crazy or we don't know well, and we pretend many times that we don't know things, or we want to be so good for others or to fit in. And for me, what came up in the last few days that, well, I also do this many times, and finally I always realized that, fuck, I knew it, and I should have listened to my awareness or my knowing. But how many times we think or we learn that others know better what is good for us or what we should do. And what for me came up, it was school. That how many, I don't know how was school for you, but for me it was, I had many good experiences, and I think as many other students also many bad experiences. And I realized that one of my teachers was always shouting with us, and he was just saying that you are stupid, you don't know anything, la 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 la. Because I was asking the question, who said that I'm stupid, And as a child, you believe everything and you pick up everything, and okay, maybe our teachers wanted to motivate us, so it's not their fault somehow because they also learned this. But how much we both that others should know better what is good for us or how we should do things. La 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 la.
Yes, it's interesting what you're saying because as children, you were saying that we believe what the adults are telling us. So basically, we trust in what they say. I would say like that. And the other thing I wanted to add to what you said, that yes, we start to create a comfort zone from where we start to function, and everybody that surrounds us, all our friends, families, and whoever would it be, co-workers, they are starting to project us that we are functioning from there. So they are putting us in a box, and they are trusting that we are going to behave or to act as we did priors or in the past. But if you want to create something greater, you always have to go out from your comfort zone, which is usually challenging. But what would it take not to be? What would it take to have ease with these changes? And trust that the thing that you know, it's mm, maybe I should say like this, that every and each one of us, we are different. Basically, we are unique, and our guts, our awareness, our knowing is just as well unique as we are. So we have to start to build up a trust in ourselves and in our abilities or capacities or whatever we want to create to create a greater life. As long as you want as long as you want a different life, as long as you want to have a greater life, because s- trusting that if you start to do something new will add to your life, will make it greater. It might happen that it won't turn out the way that you think it will. Yes, that's true, but you always learn something from that, or it always adds something to your life. In the worst case, it adds more awareness to your life. In best case, it's it transforms your life in a way that you didn't even dare to dream.
And have it ever happened to you, this kind of thing that you knew something immediately that you should do it or you should choose it, and then you went into thinking? Because I'm sure not.
Yes, so of course it did, and it's very interesting. The one thing that came up is related to money. When 9/11 happened, you know that the dollar price went down, and I called my parents and I told them, if you have cash, if you have liquidities in our currency, in my country's currency, then this is the moment to buy some dollars because it's getting cheaper and cheaper. And my parents went with the rest of the people, with the rest of the world, and they were saying, "Oh no, dear son, everybody's selling, and why would we buy?" And I was like, because everybody's selling. That's the whole idea. We are speaking about USA. It's one of the biggest economical powers, so it won't last for long, and they didn't done it. And I didn't had, at that time I was a student, I didn't had the means to do something like that. And after a week or 2 weeks, the price of the dollar came back to where it was before that. And then I started to think, okay, this is something I knew I should have trusted it. Maybe my
Wow.
parents should have trusted. They didn't done it, but that's it. So this is the way, like where we start to invalidate our trust in our knowing, because everybody that surrounds you, it's telling you, oh, it's a bad idea, it's a bad idea. Maybe for them it's a bad idea, but maybe for you it will be a great idea. It will change your life if you trust yourself and don't give up. And whenever you start something new, we have the tendency to stop to do that thing just quite before the success is coming in our lives. But if you continue to trust, and if you continue to do what you chose to do, then eventually that success is going to appear. It depends on you how fast do you want that to make it happen or not.
Yes. Maybe you could be a millionaire now. If that time your parents are listening to you. Yeah, for me, this also this Marseille thing or choosing this LHR class was first, if I look back, and I know also we were talking about that, when I got the email, I immediately registered and I started looking for the flight ticket. And then I started, oh no, I don't go because I don't go, I should not because I won't go because and I was in this process for 3 weeks, and I know actually maybe you have me to finally realize the fuck I already chose this. And I was just laughing at myself that, oh my gosh, I was immediately registering and la la la. So my choice was already there and my being new. And I don't know, maybe I wanted to, how you say this, oh my gosh, it's so early. So when you try stopping yourself or something like that, sabotaging yourself. So how many times we do a bigger choice or something, and we know that it can open up something bigger, and then we are afraid of the change it can create, and we somehow want to stay in the comfortable, as you said, in the box, but somehow not, because we are going on this way and we do the first step, but it can be frightening and la 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 la. So it's funny sometimes what we do.
Yes, many times we stop ourselves because we look at the people that surround us, who maybe not are not choosing as much as we would like to choose, or we do choose, and we think that is something so-called normal. But if for example, your example, if you would have trusted your choice from the beginning, then you wouldn't had those challenging times, that if you should go or shouldn't, if you find a plane ticket or you don't find plane ticket. And I quite understand you because I'm exactly in the same situation now.
Yeah.
I'm planning on coming to Marseille as well. It is going to be an expense class at the beginning of the week, and I would love to repeat that class. And I know that there are going to be some amazing people I really love and adore.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to see them, but I'm waiting to see if I can find plane tickets, because the time is very short. I didn't trust it in my choice, even though I knew that I want to go. So we will see what is going to happen
Or you
if I.
can just pick your car and come, because I know a lady is coming from Germany and she's driving for 2 days
Oh dear God,
to come here.
maybe we meet in Hungary.
Yeah.
I have to ask her if she can pick me up.
Yeah, so just do the magic. Yeah, and the other thing of trust for me, it's or how is it for you, the trust in others? Because that's, I think, also an interesting thing, that what is real trust. And I think we also identify this as a child, or this society is teaching us something totally different about trust. Because, for example, for me, I was so naive. I think I was always. Now I know I had big expectations from people, and for me, trust was somehow more to believe that everybody is good and everybody wants to be good. And when somebody was not kind or evil or lied or something, I was, what is, why do they do that? I don't get it. And then later realized that fuck, it's not trust, it's about being blind. And somehow I didn't accept that yes, there are many people in the world who are not kind, and it's also okay, but I have to accept it first and allow them to be this, and also be aware how so where people are functioning from. So for me, it was a big thing to realize and learn this, that it's something totally different.
Yes, first of all, I would tell you that just because you are functioning from a certain space, it doesn't mean that everybody functions from the same space or place. And yes, many times we misidentify trust as blind faith, or trust is not blind faith. Trust means that you trust that somebody is going to behave in a certain way. And if you know that a person is behaving or functioning from a space of unkindness, for example, then you trust that he is going or she is going to function from the same space. In worst case scenario, you won't be right and you will have a pleasant surprise. That would be awesome. But in best case scenario, it won't take you by surprise by their action or the things they are saying or doing or whatever is going on. So basically, trust. It's not about blind faith. Trust. You should trust in you. You should trust that your choices are going to create greater, and just be curious. What does that create? And yes, if there are any modalities that you practice, if there are any tools, trust in those tools that are going to function for you if those functioned in earlier periods of your life. Because so many times we learn something new, we use it for a while, and wow, it expands our life. And after a while, we are like, oh, I'm not really into, I don't know, for example, saying a sentence or doing meditation or doing the yoga exercise or whatever anyone is doing. Trust that the thing you chose is the best for you. And yes, be curious if there is anything else that you can add to your life, or if there is any other information that could create bigger for you. And go, even if your family, even if your friends are saying that there is something stupid, but you really know that that is what is working for you. Trust in that and go forward with that and see what that creates. And if it's not creating anything, you can just make a different choice. You can start it all over again. It's nothing more than just a choice. Yes, to trust is a choice.
Yes, I had a teacher, and he said that anything you are planning, don't tell it to anybody. And for a long time, I didn't understand. And then sometimes I was planning something, and okay, of course, you want to share it with your friends or with people around you who you think that will be happy, and then they start, are you stupid? Oh, you are crazy, why would you do that? And I was, okay, maybe it's better to be silent. Because for, as you said, for me this is true, but they are functioning, they have total different point of views, beliefs, and they are functioning from a different space. So of course, for them, maybe it's not true, and it seems to be crazy, and it's also okay. But yeah, and it can be dangerous, because if you buy their point of view, then you can stop yourself. So
Exactly. So they are telling you what is their point of view, and they are functioning where they are in their lives, but that doesn't mean that you are there, and this doesn't mean that someone is further on or someone is behind. It's just different roads, that's all. And nothing is correct or wrong. Everybody has his own set of choices, own life, own belief system. And yes, many times we try to function from these points of views that are not ours because we want to fit in their world. but we forget that we have our own world and we can function from our set of points of views. And maybe we can start to be a greater invitation for others to choose in a different way or choose something greater for themselves, for to choose what is working for them, not necessarily what worked for us or for me.
And how did you start practicing trusting yourself or trust your awareness?
Oh, it's still a work in progress. I think this one won't end ever.
Yeah, never ending story.
Yes, yes. Many times I look back to my past and I realize, I should have trust myself. I should have done that. I shouldn't stop myself. But this is the way things work. You try something and you see if it works or not.
And what is nowadays? Do you have, or is there any area in your life where you trust yourself more and where you trust yourself less?
I think that this trust, let's call it trust thing, it's developing in every area of my life. The more I start to trust in me, the more I start to trust in my choices, the more I start to trust that I can create something greater in my life. So it's an ongoing process. I couldn't say that I trust that I do something very well and I don't do something well. The more I trust in me, the more this develops in every area of my life. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
basically, if you trust yourself, then things are going to start to work the way that functions for you the best way.
Yeah. Camelia is here with us and she wrote something. And
And
if they insist or push their pov and want to be friends.
of
Oh
meaning
my
points
god.
of views.
Yeah. I like that, Camelia. Thank you. Yeah, it's not easy, but the other thing what came up from it, that it's important also that it's not about proving that, oh, I know what's good and la la la, and I force this and I prove and I fight. So it's not about that, because I think awareness or your knowing is just this, it's so light like the wind really, and there's no charge on it. You just know and it's easy, and then you should, then you should choose it and just go and do it. And of course you will have, I think, anytime we choose something greater we always have some doubts on the way or something is coming up, and because if you choose greater, everything that earlier was not allowing you to do this, I think, or to make that choice will show up. So actually, I'm many times now I'm already grateful that, oh, it showed up, and that's good because then I can let it go. And I'm just grateful that, thank you. And it means that I chose something different. So
Yes, and if you make new choices, as I was saying prior about, and I was telling about the comfort zone, you are choosing something outside of your comfort zone. In your comfort zone, you know how to deal with everything. You know what to expect. You can know in advance what is going to happen, how it's going to happen, and usually you are bored of that.
yeah, but people don't admit it that it's boring.
Exactly, exactly.
Many people pretend, I think, that they like their life, but it's fucking boring.
It's something, I think that they misidentify it as safety, because
Yeah,
when you know what to expect, then you know how to prepare for it. But when you choose outside of your comfort zone and you expand basically your comfort zone, you will have new challenges. You will have things that you didn't experience prior. So you have to learn them, or you have to learn how to function from this new space, which might be completely different than what you were used to before. but trust that you are going on the right way.
Yeah, and it always works. I think it always works. But yes, we learn a lot, and hmm, I don't know. Yeah, we should just go.
Yes, and in one of the modalities I'm practicing, they are saying that the universe always has your back. And if you start to trust this, it is going to start to appear in such an amazing way that you cannot even imagine. And but if you doubt in the same in the same modality, they say that doubt stops creation. If you start to doubt, then that doubt, it just leads you back in your comfort zone, back in the same old patterns that you are used to, and maybe you want to to change them. Or if you don't want to change them, then it's okay, it's fine, that too. It depends what works for you the best.
Yeah, it's always different, and I think it's for everybody is different because yeah, we have so many different lives, and something can be a big thing for you that is for me nothing, but and also the opposite, and this is totally different for everybody. So,
Yeah, yes, as an example, I can give you from my own life. I
mhm.
Even though up to a point I love to travel, after that point I started not to be so happy about it. And a few years ago I started to travel again, and for me that was a huge thing. But for the majority of the population, it's something like, oh, come on, it's just traveling somewhere. It's not a big deal. But for me, it was a big deal because I had some issues in my past that I had to clear, and I had to let go, basically, not to clear. That was the whole idea, not to hang on to a single bad experience, even though I had so many awesome experiences. And we often do this. We have just one bad experience and we hang on to that, and we don't want that to show up again in our lives. Instead, just to let it go, and just to have an awareness. Okay, you went through, it was okay, you survived, nothing happened. Go forward and trust yourself.
Yeah, it's interesting that you're mentioning traveling because we came yesterday to Marseille, and we came three ladies from Hungary, and we had breakfast at the airport. And I told the ladies that, oh my God, I so much love flying. At the moment, my body sees the airplanes. I'm so excited and I love it. And one of the ladies told me that, oh, so you are so lucky, Andrea. I would like to have this energy. And I asked her why. And she said that because she's a bit frightened from flying because once they went to Egypt, and there was quite a big storm, and they started I don't know how you say this
To land.
going down. Yeah, with the airplane, but finally they luckily arrived. It was just so much a kind of trauma for her. But since then she's still flying, but that's why for her it's not so easy as it is for me. But for me also, I remember the first time was not so good because when I was a child, I had also had one bad experience, and I remember when we first, I think I first went to Milan, and I was really, really nervous. And I was, oh my God, what will happen? But then I realized that, oh, actually, it's so exciting for me and so amazing. So since then, flying is just amazing. And that you have to practice new things. It's like new muscles, you know?
Exactly, you have to build up your new muscle, just the way you build up the muscle of trusting in yourself. And maybe
Yeah.
this is the most challenging thing, because everybody is telling you that why and what isn't possible. No one is inviting you to a different possibility. No one is telling you that, okay, something else might be possible for you. Why don't you try it? And then they usually say, no, 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 don't do that. Don't do that, because it might not be something that you dream of. And why Why? Because they don't have the same dreams, they don't have the same wishes, they don't have the same life expectancies as you have, as and they don't want to create the life the way you want to create your life.
Yeah, and it's
So
also important that it's okay for everybody. Everybody can choose what they want to choose. So
yes, I just wanted to ask, why would you live somebody else's life instead of living your own life? See,
yeah.
see how is that?
Yeah, but this is the question I think we don't ask usually because we learn to live others' life.
Of course we do. We start with our parents who are telling us
Yeah.
what's allowed, what isn't, how you should behave in certain situations, how you shouldn't behave, and you start to live their lives. You start to function from their realities, from their space, and after that you start to do that with your friends, and then with your lover, and so on, and so many points of view are just stuck appealing in your universe, let's say it like that. So you don't even know who you actually are, who is your core being in that whole situation. So just start choosing for yourself, and see what creates for you and for everybody else, and see
Yeah,
what
I
invitation can
remember
you be.
school actually when I was finishing the secondary school, and everybody wanted to go to university or high school, and our teachers were helping us to prepare, but now I know we had no clue actually. And I remember that already at that time I was amazed that they said that you should choose what you want to do in your life. And I was, what the first of all, I don't know. I have no idea. Second, why should I choose just one thing? Because everybody chose, just one thing they want to learn. And I remember that time for me, I was so much functioned from uh, I wanted to be good for others, but it was not mine. It was just, okay, I have to do this because they say I should do this, but there was no question in my words. So it's like, I just know that it was strange for me that I should choose one thing. I'm just 18 or 7. I was 17 maybe. And wow. So, and it didn't work for me. Well, already that time.
Exactly. I don't know if I told you in a private conversation we had, or in one of our public conversations. It was just the same with colors. But when everybody was asking me what's your favorite color, and I was like, "Oh, I have to choose one," but I love all colors. I don't have any point of view of any that should be ugly and that should be beautiful. No, they are just colors, nothing more. So
Yeah, or anything with food, for example. I know people who all the time have the same breakfast every day, and for me, it's like, I cannot do that. So I need some changes, or I can try everything or any new things every day. And what if one day I like eggs, and on the other days I don't like eggs? So it can also change, and you don't have to fix anything.
yes, this is what I wanted to say. We try once something, we like it, and we take it for granted for the rest of our lives that that is something I do like. But what if your body changes? And definitely your body is changing as you are through the course of your life.
Yeah, for me, this was, for example, with jogging, because I thought I hate go jogging, and there was a time when my body started asking for it, and I was so much enjoying it, and many memories came up for me, and I realized that fuck, I didn't hate jogging, I just hated it at school because we were pushed and forced to do that, and the whole atmosphere was not kind because it was about competition, judgment, la la la, but not itself the movement or the jogging was bad for me. So, and how many times we do these conclusions in
And
our life?
I'm wondering, just like in this case that you said, and in the case of with the airplane when you had the first flight. how much of all those thoughts weren't even yours. You were just picking up on everybody that surrounded you and on everybody's way of thinking, and you thought that it's yours because it was going on in your own head. So
Yeah,
it must be
exactly.
yours.
Yeah, we many times when something is showing up in our world, we think it's ours, but I think 99.9999% is not ours. Because somebody says 95, somebody says 98, but I realized no, nothing is Oh my gosh, if it's not light, I think it's not yours. But this is my point of view.
Yes, I'm kind of agree, but everybody should look for themselves if it seems to be correct or right for them or not.
Or it
Uh,
depends on situation also.
yes.
So it's
What
again
I
a thing you cannot fix.
what I do know that for sure we perceive much more than we are trained or teached that we do. And one of the example is when you think of someone and you watch your phone that it's that same person is just calling you. You perceive the information from somewhere. So just explore this idea if many of the thoughts you have are yours or might be someone else's. How many of the doubts you have are yours or are someone else's? And how much do you stop yourself because of that?
It's funny because I think on Sunday I woke up and Zumba came into my mind. You know, I was a Zumba instructor, or
Hmm.
officially I'm still am. I just don't have classes at this moment. And I was, what? Zumba? What is, why is it in my mind? And when after my breakfast, I checked my phone, a lady messaged me about Zumba, and I was, oh my gosh, how much I am aware.
Yes, it's a great example how we pick up information and we don't even realize it. And you don't have to be trained in this to pick up the information. Basically, you train yourself to make the difference between what information is from you and what information belongs to someone else.
Yeah, it's another good topic, Mr. Stelian. Oh, yes, I like how our talks are opening up everything, different kind of topics. Yeah.
Yes, hopefully it opens up the space for the people who are listening for us, and we would be very grateful if you would leave us a comment to see what creates for you, and if you like it or if you have any topic that you would like us to have a conversation about.
Yeah. Thank you, Stelian.
Thank you so
I
much,
have to
Andrea.
go. Martha is waiting for me. And we are waiting for you also. So I hope we can meet this
Me too.
weekend.
Me too. I'll
Uh,
know in the evening.
Okay. And thank you for everybody. Thank you, Camelia, for your comment. And maybe next week or after we meet again. We'll
Thank you,
see.
everyone. Have a wonderful week.
Yes. Thank you, Steli. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, everybody.